Hello, everybody. Welcome to Elite Weather. I'm meteorologist Mr. G, back with you once again. We are taking a look outside live in Houston, Texas right now on this cloudy and dreary afternoon as we have some tropical moisture in the area that is leading to some rainfall around the Houston area and along the Gulf Coast. We're taking a look right now at the Midtown area in Houston. I-10 is right there. Katy, Texas is off in the distance. We're looking at a lot of traffic right now as it's about rush hour out there in Houston and folks are trying to make their way home. I have a much more pleasant weather forecast to talk about today. We're not worrying about any severe weather this week. No severe weather is expected over the next 7 days. That is wonderful news. So let's jump into our forecast right now so we can take a look around and talk about what's happening. All right, we're going to move on with the rest of that weather forecast and jump into our maps right now. And before we do so, and we are gonna, I'm gonna give everybody a message here to leave a like and comment. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so you can be notified whenever I post another video, so you can be up to date and in the know whenever severe weather might strike. But right now, we're not going to talk about severe weather other than some excessive rainfall down across the eastern U.S. and the southeast. So right here along the Gulf Coast, we have our stationary front and a developing area of low pressure off the coast there. And those showers and storms are going to extend through the Appalachian Mountain Range and along the eastern seaboard into the mid-Atlantic states as well as around D.C. and New Jersey and the Big Apple, where we're going to be seeing some scattered showers in those areas. But down to the south, that rainfall could get quite heavy around East Texas and Louisiana. We could see some flooding as well. But we are looking at a lot of dry weather across the upper Midwest through the Great Lakes and across the plains, across the Southwest as well. Some wet weather in the Pacific Northwest, where we will be seeing some rain and a few snowflakes in the Cascade Mountain Range. But Portland and Seattle could see some rain showers. So back to the wet and dreary Pacific Northwest weather pattern, but much better weather across the Southwest, dry in California for once, and it's going to be dry in the plains and down to the southern plains and into the Southwest. There's a few showers today, right now, in parts of Northern California, but that's not going to amount to much, not going to create any problems, just some slick roadways. That's about it out on the West Coast. Let's take a look at our current temperatures. We see the warmth here across the Southwest, where temperatures are in, not the Southwest, but the Southeast, excuse me. We're looking at those 80s down in South Carolina, Georgia, and in Florida. Gonna get close to 90 in some parts of Florida, and we're seeing those temperatures in the 70s across the Gulf Coast, 50s in southeastern Texas, around the Houston area, under cloudy skies with those showers in place right now. And we are seeing temperatures try to warming up here across the plain states and into the Midwest and into the upper Midwest. We're seeing those temperatures in the 50s and 60s. And as we head into the weekend, we're going to start to see 70s out there for your Saturday and Easter Sunday as well. And we are looking at those temperatures in the 70s across the Southwest. Down there near Phoenix and LA, we're looking at those temperatures in the 60s. But in the Rockies, it's going to be chilly with those temperatures in the 30s and 40s. And in the Pacific Northwest, we're going to start to see 50s down in the valleys with some of that rainfall. And in the Cascades, it's going to be a mixture of rain and snow. So rain with some snowflakes mixed in, as it's going to be in the 30s and 40s in those areas. Here's a look at our dew points, where we're seeing all that moisture down across the southeastern U.S. with that tropical moisture in place. In our stationary front, we have a cold front that's kind of getting hung up in the southeastern United States. I'm not seeing that front drop too much further south. It might get to the halfway point down the state of Florida as we head into Sunday and Monday, but it's going to stay close enough in the area that it could spread some showers, so some scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm could be possible across the southeast, but no severe weather is expected at this time. Here is a look at the rainfall we've seen so far across the mid-Atlantic and the southeastern United States. We are looking at heavier rainfall down in Louisiana and East Texas. Some folks have picked picked up about 2 inches of rain, but we're looking at mostly about a half an inch, maybe a quarter inch of rain across the mid-Atlantic and to parts of the southeast. That precipitation is fairly light, just kind of showery out there, and a little bit more rainfall over here across the Pacific Northwest and in Northern California. Again, a half inch of rain or less over that area as well. So fairly light precipitation amounts with a few showers possible today, as we have a warm front lifted north, and that warm front is bringing that warm air up from the south, and that's again very light precipitation amounts, some isolated to scattered stuff over the northern plains and the upper Midwest today. But that will all clear out quickly this weekend. And as far as our outlook is concerned for the weekend, we are looking at this for Sunday. Nice warm inflow coming in off of the Pacific. So we're going to be seeing nice weather across the Southwest and spreading into the plains and into the upper Midwest. A little bit chilly across the Northeast as we have a trough in place and a northwest wind. So it's going to keep things a little bit cool on your Sunday in the Pacific Northwest, and warm and humid and tropical nature feeling across the Southeast as we have those tropical showers down across the southeastern U.S. And then as we head into Tuesday, that dip gets a little bit further to the south in the Pacific Northwest, and we see that warmth across the Southwest, Tucson and Phoenix, and the deserts of Southern California, and that warmth will spread into the upper Midwest, all the way up to Minnesota and North Dakota, where we're going to be seeing the temperatures in the 70s and even approach the 80s. But we're going to be seeing temperatures drop sharply across the eastern U.S. as a trough digs in across the east, and we're going to be seeing temperatures cool, and those showers will remain in place across the southeast as well. So we're going to be seeing cool and showery, nice and warm in the Midwest and through the plains, and kind of damp in the Pacific Northwest as well. And here we are as we take a look at the snow forecast. So very little snow across the country today. Some snow showers in the higher elevations of the northern Rockies and the Cascades, and a few snow showers through parts of Michigan and Wisconsin today. But we're going to be seeing those showers dissipate, and that is going to move north into Canada as we have that advancing warm front from the south, from that return flow from our area of high pressure that's building in the northeast, and our low pressure taking place in the northwest. Southwesterly flow from the northwest, southeasterly flow from our eastern high. So we're going to be seeing warm air really fill in across the Great Lakes and the northern plains. All right, here's our wet weather across the state of Florida, where we have our stationary front and that developing area of low pressure over the Gulf. So we're going to be seeing a lot of rain over Florida that could lead to some flash flooding in that area. And we're going to be looking at our temperature outlook for this upcoming week, and we're going to be seeing it much warmer here across the upper Midwest and into the Northeast. So the eastern half of the country is going to be seeing, the eastern 2/3 of the country will be seeing a very warm week this week. Pleasant across the south as far as the temperature, but it's going to feel a little bit humid out there as we have that tropical moisture and those showers in place. But in the western United States, over the Rockies, the Cascade, and through California, it's going to become cooler this week as we have a trough in the jet stream. So it's going to keep things a bit cool and damp in the western half of the United States. But overall, if you really think about it, not too bad of a weather pattern to have. It's going to be wet across the southeast and a little damp across the Pacific Northwest. But at this time, I'm not expecting any problems with the weather, really, other than maybe a little bit wet across the south. But they're used to that. So no severe weather. We're not going to worry about any tornadoes, no hail, damaging winds. Overall, pretty pleasant, just either damp or wet or whatever you may have. So that trouble in the Gulf looks like this. That weak area of low pressure is going to develop near the northern Gulf Coast next week, Texas, Louisiana, right? And that system could become subtropical due to warmer than average water temperatures over the Gulf. So a weak tropical storm or a depression might form, but it's going to have a subtropical component, so we'll still have some extratropical connections to it. It might be straddled next to a frontal boundary or something, which is something tropical storms don't typically do, but this may have that component because there is a stall front in the area, and we're going to be seeing, regardless of what happens, it's going to rain a lot across the south this we could see at least 5 days of consistent rainfall down along the Gulf Coast and in the southeast as we have to deal with that. And here is a look at our rainfall forecast this week. So if you're in Louisiana and East Texas, you could be dealing with a lot of rainfall in the Houston and New Orleans area. A couple of inches of rain this week. Maybe some isolated spots picking up 3 to 5 inches of rain. And we're going to see 1 to 2 inches of rain down here across Dixieland, Georgia, and Alabama. But in the southeast, not New Orleans, but North Carolina and South Carolina, you could be picking up 3 to 5 inches of rain near the Raleigh-Durham area, and Charlotte could pick up a little bit more persistent amount of rain as we have that stationary front, and maybe some thunder might be more likely in that area as well, but no severe weather expected at this time. And we're going to be looking at our flood watch across Louisiana and East Texas as we have a lot of rainfall as well as runoff coming down the Mississippi River and snow melting from the upper Midwest and the northern plains drains down the river and the waterways down to the south. So we're going to be seeing the Mississippi River start to run high and some of the other contributory rivers down along the south coast there. So again, we're going to be watching for that as we deal with a bit of rainfall across the southern United States. My name is Mr. G. Thanks for watching this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys all tomorrow with any weather updates as we monitor the situation along the Gulf Coast and see if there's any further development of our potential tropical system. What could be the first tropical named storm of the system of the season if it becomes a tropical storm or anything like that. So again, kind of weird things just keep happening here. Thanks for watching me today, guys. Again, leave a like, comment, and subscribe.